Larry, you talked about Thursday's game. I mean, granted, it's not the league championship, but there is something to play for. Can you just talk about the mindset going into Thursday?
Sure. No, it's we've got a couple home games left to close out our conference schedule. I think it's a team that's tied with us in the standings. I think we're tied for 10th, if I'm not mistaken. And we had a rough couple games at in the Bay Area, and it's an opportunity for us to have a couple good days of practice and try to get it shored up a little bit. I think that the areas that we've been deficient in, rebounding and turning the ball over, are going to be once again the keys for Oregon State with their length and rebounding ability. So it's right on cue. It's not like some areas that need to be fixed and all of a sudden we're playing a team that we don't need to think about doing those things, because they create a lot of turnovers with their length and different defensive looks and stuff. So it's going to be a challenge for us to try to fix what's broken heading into final couple weeks of the season.
Coach, talk a little about how you can use these two games this week as momentum building into the Pac-12 tournament next week.
Yeah, I don't know if it's really as much about momentum as it is just, we've got to start making plays and playing more consistently. For example, we had 16 great minutes of basketball against Cal. We're up 24-19, and I thought a lot of facets of our game were really clicking. Defensively, offensively, we were right where we wanted to be. And then the little turnover thing kind of rears its head, and we end up allowing them to get on a 15-0 spurt going into halftime, and that's one of those things that kind of punches you right in the midsection when you got a 5-point lead, and instead you go during the break at halftime, and we've been talking about our 4-minute increments being real important, and so the consistency of not being able to put an end to that run. So more than momentum, it's just finding some consistency and playing better for longer stretches, and I think that momentum's, at this point, we're probably not going to gain a lot of momentum heading into Vegas. We're going to, feel better about how we're playing the game and hopefully not making some of those mistakes.
With the two final home regular season games this week, can you just give a couple comments on your seniors on the team and what they've meant to this program?
Yeah, I mean, I'll start with David Foster. I think everybody's got their own story. The 4 seniors are all kind of had a different experience and why they're here. And David, unfortunately, I haven't had an opportunity to coach a whole lot. He's been around our squad. I think he's provided a lot of leadership for us off the court. He's been at an incredible number of practices. And I just feel bad for him, 2 consecutive seasons not being able to compete. And I think as a coach, this is actually one of the first times I've thought of it this year, is when a player's hurt, as a coach, you kind of have to move on to what you have, and who's going to be a part of what you're doing. And obviously you still spend time with David off the court, but you're trying to survive, trying to get better. So it's one of those deals where you go, man, what if Dave, really was penciled in kind of as our starting center, and to not have him for a while has been frustrating for all of us. So it's just, kind of hoping he gets back on his feet. I know he may want to try to pursue playing some more, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he can get healthy and do that. And one of his counterparts in Washburn, both guys that were in the program previously and have moved forward into their senior year. I think Jason's made some great strides, with his game, and wanting him to finish off the weekend on a high note, just, knowing he's cut of the right stuff and trying to do the right things. And that's important. I don't know if he's hit 1,000 points, but he's closing in on it. So hopefully we can get that accomplished here this weekend. And then, you've got Cedric Martin, who joined our program as a junior college player, has been unbelievably focused in what he's doing, and one of the better defensive players I think that we have in our league. Takes a lot of pride in playing defense and just a warrior. Maybe not a lot of the accolades for scoring points and doing some of those things, but he's a guy that I think every team needs to have and it's been a fun run with him for a couple of years. And then Jared Dubois is another young man that came to us for 1 year. So you kind of run the gamut in terms of how you could have a senior on your squad, and transferred in, finished his degree early, and it's been a good run, I think, for Jared. I'm hoping his best basketball is still. He had a nice game against Stanford in terms of scoring, but he's made progress. He's been great in our community and provided us with a little bit of skill in the backcourt. So those are our 4 guys. Ryan Osterloh, yeah. So there's 5. I forgot about Ryan. Yeah. No, that's good. Ryan's he's been great. Joined us midway through last season, and terrific kid, student, person. He's even gotten himself in the last few ball games at the wing. We're a little depleted with some of our injuries, but it's been fun being around him. It's got a lot of pride in the fact that he wanted to be a part of our program. It's not easy being a walk-on with all the things that you ask him to do, and then on top of that, being such a great student. So